Thanks again for bringing me back here. I love coming to here because y'all are my friends, you're my family, and it's always nice seeing you with all of your clothes on. I could not resist.
I do the jokes. Yeah.
Oh, you do the joke. Sorry, Mike. Sorry, Mike. Faith is still going live and well. Families and individuals thanking heroes. All y'all know the history. 2006, our son and about 15, 16 other of his classmates and friends joined the military in the middle of the Iraq-Afghanistan conflicts. And we were all scared to death, didn't know what we were going to do or where we were going. That's my compadre in crime. Sue Ann Wilson, come on in here, dear.
Hello, Sue.
Sue Ann is the other half of Faith. Anyway, over the years, since 2006, we have met and sent care packages every month but two. Every month but two. 1 month was when Hurricane Harvey came through, and we didn't have any electricity, and most of us couldn't get to where we needed to go. And then in April of this year, we didn't meet because of COVID. And since April of this year, we have stepped back, done a lot of praying, and have completely revamped the way that we pack, so that now we pack outside in our parking lot. And so every second Thursday of the month, we pray for not too hot, not too cold, and no rain. And God is good. We have not had to miss any because of weather. When it came time to pack for Christmas, and we packed right at 300 care packages on the Saturday, the first Saturday of the month. It was gorgeous, it was cool, it wasn't hot, and we got them all done in the parking lot at Livingston Physical Therapy. So our mission continues on. I've been looking at numbers the last couple of days just to kind of see where we are. This year, we sent, I should have added this up, 295 care packages in the United States, 1,183 overseas. It's a little less than most years, but we missed a month. So we spent $24,570.15 in postage. Let me repeat that number. $24,570.15 in postage for 11 months. We're working on going back so we can do some comparatives through the years and kind of see where that goes. But I will tell you, in 2006, it cost less than $11 to send a care package overseas, and it now costs $17.80. So, and those are the boxes that we send overseas. So anyway, just a few numbers just to think. Now put some pictures on most of the tables in here, just so you kind of have an idea. Those are some of the kids that have sent pictures back to us in the last few months. So you kind of have an idea of age and just a face. I always like to know what I'm doing and who I'm talking to and who I'm praying for. And it's kids that look just like that. Now they're all happy in these pictures because they're not going to send us the ugly pictures. I have some of those. We just couldn't figure out the technology today so I could share some of the pictures in the field. But I and Sue Ann and I are amazed every month that we're still doing this, because in 2006, we didn't have a plan. We literally got together, she and Mr. Bill, and because their nephews were deployed, the other 10 or 12 of us that showed up, we had kids or grandkids or nephews or nieces deployed, and we didn't know what to do. Those first care packages we sent didn't look anything like this, y'all. They were full of candy and stuff. Well, it didn't take too long that when people heard we were sending care packages, we started getting names. And then we started getting some mail back from some of those kids that said, the candy's great, but we actually need food. We don't always have enough to eat. We don't always get to the mess hall, or the food truck doesn't get to where we are. And by the way, we're living in holes in the ground or metal shipping containers. So our mission kind of changed. So we rocked along for a year or so, and we went, I don't think we're getting out of this. We went from 15 kids to 40 kids in about 3 months. And the next thing we knew, we're budgeting for 125 to 130 care packages going overseas every month and 35 to 40 here in the United States. And those numbers fluctuate as people deploy over, come home, now that they get out. We've had some get out and have gone back. We didn't write a business plan. We didn't write a plan. We finally, after 2 or 3 years, decided we better do something to raise some money because we didn't have enough to keep going. And our close friends were getting tired of us saying, I need $25 or I need $30. And that's when we started coming to y'all. We became a tax-free or tax-exempt organization. We have kept that. Probably one of the things that I'm most proud of is that 100% of all donations go to pay for postage and stuff that goes in those boxes. All of the work, all of the admin goes through the volunteers. We have a board of directors, and most of us have been on the board since day one or early on, because we're all kind of bossy and we know how we want it done. But we are as transparent as can be. Dan's in charge of the finances, so he knows to the penny where it comes and where it comes in and where it goes. So if anybody ever has a question, we would love to answer that. That's a pretty big deal because a lot of these groups that solicit funds for service members and veterans, they spend a lot on administration. We don't spend a dime. And I'm just very, very proud of that fact. We could not do what we do without our community. Because of the donations, because of the time, because of the stuff that you bring, because of the money you bring, because of the prayers that you give, and because y'all keep inviting us back to come and speak. The biggest group of volunteers that I praise every month are our high school ROTC kids. They are phenomenal. They're now the National Navy Defense Cadet Corps, and they're actually getting inspected by the Navy this afternoon as we speak. Those kids get there right after school. We have them do all the manual labor of heavy lifting and toting because some of us are getting old. They clean up, they pack boxes, they do whatever we ask. So if you see a JROTC cadet, be proud of them. Tell them thank you. They are doing a good job. That program is really helping them a lot. And a lot of those kids transition into the military as well. COVID's hit us pretty hard. Donations are down. Thank goodness we had our fundraiser last year in February so that before everything shut down. And it was a great fundraiser. Thanks to all of y'all that participated. But as we're sitting here getting ready for this year's fundraiser, we're in the planning stages of that right now. Instead of coming and eating all the crawfish you can at the center, we're going to have a drive-through. But we'll let y'all know all those details because we still need y'all's support. You know, faith is very near and dear to us. We've had kids that got injured while they were overseas. Thankfully, none of the kids on our list have come back in a coffin. And I think that's by the grace of God, and I think that is by the prayers that our community gives out. So thank y'all for that. Somebody asked me just yesterday, so how do you get the names from people? People bring us their friends' kids, their grandkids, their nephews' names, and we always, always take them. Now that kids overseas can email a little bit easier, I got a letter this week from a young lady that said, hey, one of my shipmates shared with me his care package. Is there any way I could get one every now and then? Well, yeah, you can. We typically do not send to military contractors because they have resources that our kids do not have. Then somebody asked me the other day, so since everybody's home from Iraq and Afghanistan, where do your packages go? I rolled my eyes just twice. And I said, well, number one, we still have kids in Iraq and Afghanistan. But honestly, the majority of our packages are going to Africa. We have a lot of young men and women in Africa. We're sending quite a few to ships right now because we've got a lot of ships just patrolling here, there, and yonder. We've got packages going to Jordan, to Syria, to Germany, to a couple of places in Europe that we're not supposed to know about, so I'm not going to name those. Australia. And we don't have anybody in Antarctica now, but we did for a short while. So it's kind of cool to think that since 2006, this community has sent over 23,000 care packages, and they've been to every continent in the United States that we've been able to figure out.
Wow.
Now, we typically don't know where these packages, we're not supposed to know where these packages are going. We've been doing it long enough now that we kind of keep track of zip codes and kind of correlate information, because they just go to an APO address if they're leaving the country. But we have had packages go everywhere. Now think about this. It's been reported to us, and we've seen it just from letters and kids coming home and talking to us, that when they get our care package, they don't just put it on under their bunk and not share it. Most of our care packages are shared at least with 5 to 6 other kids. So if you take 23,000 and you multiply that by 6, that's a lot of people in this world that have been touched by the love and the generosity and the patriotism of Polk County, Texas. So don't ever, ever think that we're just a small podunk community, because we are much better than that. The other thing that's kind of cool that Sue Ann and I and the folks that we work with, there are not very many, if any, care package programs that have been as faithful as Polk County has, for as long as Polk County has, and do it as often as we do. Think about that for a minute. When do we see on the news all those big mass packings?
Christmas time.
Christmas time and 4th of July. Twice a year. See, that looks really cool when they're packing 400 or 500 care packages, and that is a good thing. I am not discounting that. Please don't take that wrong. Folks, we do this. This community, does this every month, and we've continued to do it without a business plan, without anything other than the good Lord. So, brag on our community. I do, all the time. We don't have a closing date. We don't have a retirement date. We don't have an end date. We've always said we're going to do this till they all come home and we don't need to send packages. We just run out of resources. So we just have to keep doing this. We have to stay the course. And we all have things that we're passionate about, and that's good. That's what makes our community so great. It's because there are a lot of passionate people who do so many great things in our community that affect our world. And for that, I'm very thankful. I'm glad that despite my plan, that God's plan was different, and He brought me here to Polk County. Because I'm just here to tell you, and y'all have heard me say this was not my plan. I swore I'd never marry anybody from here, and I would sure as heck never, ever, ever live here. Well, we celebrated 39 years 2 weeks ago. Hadn't been a killing yet, but it could happen. I brought a couple of care packages today. One is a Christmas package that came back, just if you want to kind of look and see how we did it. We dressed Christmas packages up. When I say we, our volunteers. We've got a few folks that actually take each box and they put wrapping paper inside of it, so when they open it up, it looks like a Christmas present. And at Christmas time, everybody gets 2 to 3 packages, one full of food and stuff, and then the other of pure Christmas stuff. And in each package, they get homemade fudge from the cooking team out at the Methodist Church, and some other homemade stuff, and hand-signed cards. This year, I think we ended up with about 9,000 hand-signed Christmas cards. Yeah, that's our community. That's y'all. That's y'all. That's a lot of cards that had to get sorted. So everybody got Ziploc bags full of hand-signed cards with little notes in them, and they all had 50 to 60 in each little package. And when my son was deployed at Christmas one year, he said the best part of the packages was reading that card. He said it didn't matter that I didn't know who most of them were. He said what mattered is they cared. We at our house, we have celebrated Christmas at Easter. We have celebrated in August. And we've celebrated, I think, in May one year. People wondered why my Christmas tree stayed up. Couldn't do it until had everybody under the tree. So, holidays are tough. I'm going to read just a few letters right now from some of these kids because this is what it's about. And we don't do this for these letters, but this is what keeps us encouraged to keep going. And just think about those kids away from home. Dear Faith Military Support Group, I am one of the many benefactors of your kindness and wanted to take a moment to express my gratitude. Any way you cut and slice it, being deployed away from family is tough, especially during the holiday season. I have 3 children at home. And when our team members open your packages, I always think of my own children and the families of others who are deployed. The items you provide and the kindness you demonstrate are wonderful reminders of the great nation we love and serve and why we do it. My father-in-law is a Vietnam veteran and sadly lamented to me once that I was only one of 2 people outside his immediate family who had ever thanked him for his service. Conversely, it is so touching to me that you go to such great lengths to demonstrate kindness and appreciation to those of us out here who serve. May God bless you. On behalf of the 379th EMDG, we would like to thank all of you for your care packages and donations to provide to our wounded warrior patients staying here as they await aeromedical evacuation to LMRC in Germany for higher medical care. Our ERPSF team relies on the generosity of donors such as yourselves and are grateful for your support, love, and prayers. Please tell Melba Mayfield that we loved her Halloween card, and we hope that COVID-19 is getting better in Texas and all the states. Stay safe, and this one happened to come from Djibouti, Africa. Anybody heard of anybody getting injured in Africa? Didn't think so. I wanted to drop you a note thanking you for your recent care package to the troops. It was well received here in Kabul by grateful service members. There were a couple of packages, and service members have a habit of mixing them together, so I'm not sure exactly what all was in yours, but everything I saw yesterday was fantastic. I found one letter that was especially touching, and I've attached a copy of it. Was this, by chance, sent by your organization? And it was. I shared it with several people because I liked it so much. Thanks again for your thoughtfulness. Our school teachers are really great about having their kids practice their penmanship and letter writing skills. So that particular month, we had about 100 of these type of letters that got put in every box. And this little girl wrote, I hope you like this letter. My name is Maisie, and I am in 3rd grade, and I have dyslexia, and it is pretty hard. But you have a harder life. I hope you are okay. Thank you, Maisie.
Wow.
So we're teaching our kids some patriotism. That's good stuff, too. Here's another one. Myself and the medical department aboard the USS Mount Whitney were thrilled to receive your caring Christmas boxes full of foods, gifts, decorations, and cards. You truly blessed us in our department and helped make the holidays a little easier to bear, being stationed far away from our families. It is during the Christmas season that we take time to bless those we love with gifts and blessings. But y'all, on the other hand, blessed those whom you have never met, and that means even more to me and those of us on board. It makes it easier to be overseas when we have people like you who show your support to us in the uniformed services. God bless you and everyone that was involved in sending us our care package. And may 2021 be a year where we all find a bit more peace in our lives after everything we've gone through in 2020. We greatly appreciate everything your team has done for us, and we wish you a very happy new year. I have just received 2 care packages. Thank you for your donations of food and hygiene products. I think the goodies we received from you are the best stuff we've received so far. Thank you, and the soldiers here really appreciate it. I can always pretty much tell if they're enlisted or if they're officer by their grammar and their spelling. This young man is enlisted and he's young, but he loves his country. All right. I just want to drop you a quick note to thank you for your generosity and thoughtfulness. Along with many of my colleagues, we are in receipt of some of your goodie packages. The packages are truly awesome and a pleasant break from the normal routine of the mess hall. Tomorrow is my 13th month in Afghanistan. I'm heading home on Thursday for a quick R&R, and then I'm coming back, and he'll be there for about another 6 months. Thank you for all your thoughts and prayers for all of the brave service members deployed here and around the world. I know this does make a difference. And if you would, please extend those prayers for the men and women of Afghanistan, many of whom risk their lives on a daily basis to make this place better. Sincerely, Fred. You want a couple more?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, this is enlightening.
Thank you so much for the care package. It brought smiles not only to myself, but also to the other individuals on my team. It is always nice when we get packages and letters. The snacks have pretty much already been claimed by someone, including the corned beef hash. We are not a very big team, just a unit of 8, and we've only been here for over a month, a little over a month, and we have many, many more months to go. It is always nice when we get something from back home. We all hope everyone is doing good and in good health. Once again, thank you. We'll read a couple more, then we'll talk a little bit about our planning for packages. I just want to personally send you a heartfelt thanks for your most recent Christmas in July care package. The items sent were shared with several different departments here at Camp Lemonnier. That's in Africa, y'all. The smiles generated from your cards and care packages were unmeasurable and well appreciated. And in all honesty, we would not be able to do what we do without your love and support. Getting up every morning, going to work, and pay taxes give our government the resources it needs for military pay and benefits. So thank you for your support from all of us here at Camp Lemonnier, Djibouti, Africa. One more. My name is Sergeant Conzerlo, or just Joey. I'm attached to a Special Forces unit currently deployed in Afghanistan. I read all of the holiday cards in the bag, and I can't tell you how much we appreciate the support. As I'm sure you can understand, it's rough on all of us being away from our families around the holidays, whether we show it or not. But your support and encouragement is a big help to all of us. Thank every one of you for what you do. It does not go unnoticed. They're kids. Most of our enlisted folks are enlisted kids, 18 to about 24, 25. If they go to college, they're 25 to 28. Most of them, if they were still living at home, I'd be grounding them for staying out too late. Many of our kids that join can't even buy beer or a pack of cigarettes now, legally, but they're willing to give it all up and go wherever the government tells them to go, whenever the government tells them, and sometimes without much notice, and sometimes hurry up and wait. Y'all heard me say this before. They don't get very much money for their uniform allowance. When our son was in there, his uniform allowance barely covered one set of camis and one set of boots for a year. Camis nowadays are about $125 a set, and boots are probably about $130 now. So they depend upon families, if they have it, groups like us, to help fill in the blanks a little bit. The other thing is when they're deployed, they're not always on a nice clean base that has McDonald's and Pizza Hut. They may be there for a short while, but most of them are out in the field. We've still got kids living in packing crates or metal crates. Our son lived in one for about a year and a half. They're cold and they're hot. They don't always have access to hot chow. And anybody that's eaten an MRE knows it's high calorie, high fat, full of chemicals, and it just doesn't taste very good. So the things that we send them come in handy, especially if they're out on an assignment and can't get someplace to get chow. Every month we make sure that we send some type of protein meals, whether it is Hormel meals, tuna packets, peanut butter, lots of granola bars, beef jerky, beef sticks, pretty much whatever we can find that's on sale or we can get donated. We got very lucky this year. One of our volunteers' mom is 92 years old. She wrote to Hormel, gave them this nice long story about us, and they sent us over 980 Hormel meals and like 400 and something jars of peanut butter. Just saved us multiple thousands of dollars because that's the stuff that we buy. We send drink mixes every month. We send a bag of hygiene stuff, shampoos, toothbrushes, toothpaste, dental floss, chapstick, eye drops, whatever we can find. And we shop sales. We shop the dollar store. And we hit anybody up in town that's got something we think we might need. Chico was very generous. First, our People's State Bank was very generous this year. They gave us a bunch of hand sanitizers. One of the things that we have also found is we were ordering for the last 7 or 8 years, we've been ordering from Amazon just our stock items like wet wipes, drink mixes, oatmeal, granola bars, because if you buy enough in bulk, you get a discount, and they ship free. Since COVID's hit, we can't get it. We cannot get wet wipes, y'all. Wet wipes come in real handy when you don't have toilet paper in the field and when you don't have access to a shower. So now, one of our volunteers, who thank goodness she is retired, we try to get as much as we can in Polk County, but honestly we can't get it all. And she drives probably about 100 miles radius going to different stores to get enough stuff for us to send every month. So, COVID has taken a hit on lots of people, and I'm not complaining. That's just another set of difficulties that we've had to cross and face and figure it out. We also send toilet paper. We try to send it every month, but sometimes we just can't get enough, so we'll send it every other month. Toilet paper's a hot commodity, y'all. And we try to send decent toilet paper because what comes in their little packs is not good at all. Most of us would just look at it and snarl up our nose and go, not no, but hell no. So if you ever come and watch us pack or help us pack, and we would certainly love for y'all to do that, don't be surprised at the things you see us putting in. We took a big hit this year on hygiene products because we've always had such great success of people traveling, bringing us back those hotel samples. Nobody traveled this year, and hotels aren't using little samples. You got to bring your own, or else they've got it in some big container or something very, tacked to the wall. So we had to start buying soap and shampoo from Amazon when we can get it, because we don't want to send the big containers. Because if these kids are moving around a lot, they can't do that. So we try to send the small containers. They'll give them 2 or 3 uses and then they can throw it away. So it's been an interesting year. But God is bigger than all of this. And God has prevailed. And we're moving into 2021 with the mission of we're going to send you care packages until you come home. Or we don't need to. But we're going to pray everybody home. And that's our thing, is we're going to pray everybody home. I can't tell y'all how much we appreciate y'all's donations. Y'all's support. Times when some of y'all have come and helped pack. Just a pat on the back, dropping off stuff at the clinic. We do appreciate that from the bottoms of our heart. But what we covet the most is our prayers, is y'all's prayers. Prayers for these kids that they get to go home to their families. And that when they come home, they can reintegrate back into the community easier than what's been happening. So, anybody got any questions?
What do you think, how many of your packages come back that y'all send out? So if you send out 150 boxes, how many of them come back?
On an average month, 1 or 2.
That's great.
And we go to great lengths to keep that from happening. Now, we had just this last week, we probably had about 12 come back, which tells us, and it was from 3 different addresses, which tells us that those kids got moved without any notice. Now, we mark on our postage, on our labels, that if the recipient isn't there, give it to somebody. But this month, for whatever. I will also tell y'all, though, this year has been a little different because of COVID. Some of our boxes sat in post offices and didn't get delivered for months. So we're real careful about not sending anything that might spoil.
Yeah.
But we did. We got a letter back from, I think it was a soldier, that we had sent packages, must have been in May. They didn't get it until June, and we had sent some tortillas, and the tortillas had molded. We were embarrassed, but it wasn't our fault. Typically, it takes about 7 to 8 days for a package to leave Livingston and get to its destination overseas. So that's not too bad. But, we've gone months and haven't gotten anything back. And in our monthly letter that we put in each package is, please, if you're moving or if you're coming home, let us know. And most of them are good about that. Because that's wasted postage. We don't get that back.
Yeah.
Now, we reuse the product. I mean, that just gets recycled in our great little storage building out there. And last year, another service organization in Livingston called Rotary Club helped us get a grant, and we got this really nice trailer, so it doubles as storage also and helps us. When we used to go other places to pack, it would help us take stuff, but now it just sits. But it's a crapshoot.
Sure.
We're going into these next several months, and because there's so much uncertainty, it's a crapshoot and a prayer. One last story, and then I'm going to be done. I was at a gathering probably about a year and a half, 2 years ago. I don't remember. It hadn't been too very long, so I can remember it. And this young man came up to us, and he was from the Woodville area. He was a Navy SEAL. And he said, "Y'all are Mr. and Ms. Ellis." "Yeah." He said, "I just want you to know, several years ago, I was on a mission, had been on a mission for a very long time, and we finally got into a base, got showers, and we were getting a hot meal, and they had a table set up where just care packages were sent, and that they were just up for grabs." Said I walked over and I started getting some stuff, and he said it was great. There was nuts, and there was drink mixes, and there were snacks, and then I saw a letter in there, and he said I cried. He said it was from y'all. And he said I stood up on the table, and he said I waved this, and he said these are my people. This is my community. They are a small community, and they're doing this. And it made such a difference. He said, because then we were gone and up for another 7 or 8 weeks, and he said, but those snacks in my pocket, not only did they fill my belly, they filled my heart. True story. It was Representative Babin's son. Some cool stuff. We don't do this for glory. We don't do this for these letters. We don't do this for anything, because we've gone months and didn't get anything back from anybody. We do it because we feel like it's part of our mission from God. I don't know why he picked us, other than I'm really bossy and I have a big mouth. Thank God for Sue Ann and her late husband, Bill.
I think he was laughing, though, the whole time as we're sitting there saying, we'll do this for a few months. And him knowing.
I think you're right,
Years
Sue.
later, here we still are.
Yep.
Not a few months.
Because it was Sue Ann and Bill and us and Bill and Marie.
Yeah, I'll think of it.
Anyway,
No, I'll think of it.
it'll come. Anyway, we just sat there one night, and we were literally a support group for parents and grandparents and family who were scared to death their kid wouldn't come home. It was not about care packages. It was not about forming a group that does this for the rest of our lives. And I hate that we're still doing this. I hate that we're still doing this. But I'm so glad that God put us in the right place to make it happen. And I'm so grateful for each and every one of y'all. All right?
Thank you.